You know, family is often thought of as the bedrock of our lives, the support system we lean on during life's most tumultuous times. It's a widely accepted belief, isn't it? We've been taught since childhood that family is everything, the secure harbor in the storms of life, the unconditional love that should always be there to catch us when we fall. But what if this perception we hold so strongly is actually an illusion? In a world where societal norms dictate the very fabric of our existence, it's crucial to explore this idea. Think about it for a moment. How many decisions, how many essential choices in your life have been swayed by the expectations tied to your family? It's a curious dance, filled with a careful balance of love, obligation, and, let's face it, sometimes resentment. You might recognize this experience. It's a rather common one. Many of us mold our identities around our family roles, but does this truly serve us? Could it be that our deepest sense of fulfillment lies beyond these constructed boundaries? Here's where it gets interesting. The question arises, what if fulfillment transcends the traditional definitions of family? What happens when you toss aside the script that society has written for you? Could there be a broader horizon waiting to be uncovered just outside the lines of expectation? When we peel back the layers of what we think family should mean, we might discover something revolutionary, an expansive view of relationships that stretches far beyond biological ties. As we awaken spiritually, a profound transformation begins to unfurl within us. You might not realize it yet, perhaps you haven't even considered it, but as this awakening unfolds, our priorities shift, and suddenly, familial connections don't hold the same gravity they once did. People often describe these moments as a divine revelation, a sudden clarity that helps peel away the illusion shrouding our perceived limitations. Instead of focusing solely on those we've been told to love, we start to expand our vision. You see, as your consciousness expands, so does your understanding of connection. Genuine bonds often exist within communities, among friends, kindred spirits, and even strangers who resonate with our frequency, rather than being confined to the narrow definitions we've been taught to embrace. We discover that relationships formed beyond the walls of tradition can often be richer, more fulfilling, and more aligned with who we genuinely are. Perhaps you have felt this magnetic pull, a whisper nudging you to explore connections outside the familial circle. Look around you. Some of the most vibrant, enriching relationships can come not from those deemed family by society, but from those who genuinely understand us, who inspire our growth and nurture our souls. It's a different kind of love, one that thrives not on obligation or expectations, but on authenticity and mutual support. Now pause and reflect for a moment. What would it mean for you to embrace a definition of family that includes those who genuinely see, hear, and uplift you? What if you could curate your own family of friends, individuals who align with your values, your vibrations, and your deepest aspirations? Picture a world where love flows freely among those who resonate with your spirit, where your connections are born from choice rather than duty. But before we dive deeper into this fascinating landscape, let's consider a personal journey that embodies these truths. A story I want to share will shed light on the power of choosing one's path, even when it requires stepping away from traditional commitments. It's a testament to the beauty of exploring life through the lens of authenticity, beyond the confines of what we've been programmed to accept as normal. Can you feel it? This is just the beginning of a remarkable exploration, a journey toward redefining what it means to truly belong and love unconditionally. But first, imagine the possibilities that await. Embrace the freedom to question and reshape your understanding of family. Let that spark of curiosity ignite your journey as we delve into the next phase of this enlightening exploration together. Now, let's explore that deeper truth, because there's a layer here that shifts everything. You see, when we talk about these connections beyond conventional family ties, we touch on something profound, the psychological mechanisms that underpin our relationships. It's essential to understand how our perceptions and beliefs shape the connections we forge or fail to forge throughout our lives. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt torn between what your family expects of you and what your heart urges you to pursue? You're not alone in that struggle. Society has a way of conditioning us to believe that family is a unit we must adhere to, that love must fit a specific mold, but the hidden costs of adhering too rigidly to these expectations can be significant. To illustrate, let's think about relationships that constrict rather than expand us. Many people drift through their lives feeling a sense of obligation to family members who may never validate their true selves. They invest emotionally, spiritually, and financially into these connections, hoping to receive love in return. This becomes a transactional dynamic where the essence of genuine connection gets lost in the shuffle, replaced by an insatiable longing for approval and acceptance. I once knew someone who spent years trying to find happiness within a family environment that felt increasingly suffocating. She was a bright, radiant spirit, but the moment she stepped into her family home, she felt like she was putting on a mask, one that had been constructed through years of expectation. Every holiday gathering reminded her of who she was expected to be, not who she truly was. She found herself trapped between the love she felt for her family and the desire to break free from the confines of their beliefs. And you know what she told me? It's as if I'm living someone else's life, a life designed by the expectations of those who claim to love me. Now, if you felt this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The struggle is real and often unspoken. It's a battle between authenticity and obligation, and the toll it takes can be overwhelming. Here's where it gets interesting. When we begin to wake up spiritually, the shift in our priorities allows us to see beyond that narrow perception. Awakening opens pathways to deeper, more meaningful connections that aren't shackled by obligation. You might realize that some of the most profound relationships you have today exist outside traditional family structures. These are connections that nurture your spirit, facilitate growth, and celebrate who you authentically are. But here's the crucial part to understand. When we begin to embrace these broader connections, we have to recognize that we may also face resistance, both from ourselves and from those around us. It can feel daunting to step away from the familial norm, to embrace friendships that resonate on a higher frequency than what you've known. There may be fear surrounding potential judgments from those who don't understand or accept your path. How do you step into this new reality despite the noise of societal expectation? And you know what happens then? You start to realize that what transforms your experience is not just the act of forming these connections, but the act of letting go. Letting go of the need for approval from those who don't resonate with your journey is pivotal. The moment you begin to free yourself from those chains of expectation is the moment you begin to uncover who you truly are and who you're meant to be. Let me share another story with you, one that embodies this process beautifully. There was a man I met during a retreat who had been a devoted son, always trying to meet the expectations of his parents, who envisioned a future replete with security and social approval through traditional career paths. He felt trapped in a life that demanded conformity. Each day was like a step in a dance that did not align with his rhythm. One day, he decided it was time for a shift. He stepped away from the pressure of family obligations and ventured into the unknown. What happened next? He discovered a community of like-minded individuals, people soaring on their own paths of exploration. He forged connections that fed his soul, relationships where kindness and authenticity reigned supreme. And you know what he found most astonishing in this journey? It wasn't just that he became happier, it was the realization that love can manifest in many forms. The deeper bonds he created filled his life with warmth and meaning, built on mutual respect and shared journeys rather than the weight of transactional expectations. He learned that family is not bound by blood or obligation, but by the vibrational frequency we share with others. This is the moment where the paradox reveals itself. When you allow yourself to let go of what traditional family means and embrace a broader definition of connection, you actually create space for unconditional love to flourish. What if you could handpick your relationships based on shared values and resonate with your authentic self? As we venture further into this conversation, I want you to realize something powerful: the permission to create your own family, a family built not merely on obligations or adherence to societal norms, but on a foundation of genuine connection and understanding. That, my friend, is where true freedom lies. Take a deep breath and hold on to this insight as we prepare to explore the liberating realities of redefining family in the next phase of our journey. Let the possibilities unfurl before you and get excited about the connections waiting to enrich your life. When we shift our perspective and begin to see the richness of choosing our own connections, everything changes. You see, what becomes evident is that the shift isn't just about feeling relieved from societal expectations. It's about embracing a new way of seeing and relating to the world around us. So, let's dive deeper into what happens when you start to live this truth, when you genuinely embrace the freedom to define family on your own terms. Picture this: you wake up one day with an exhilarating sense of purpose, an awareness that you're no longer bound by the traditional blueprint of family. Suddenly you're aware of the vibrant tapestry of relationships that exist around you. With this clarity, your entire being is illuminated by new possibilities. You begin to attract people who resonate with your energy, individuals who reflect your values and aspirations. This transformative experience shifts not only your relationships, but also your understanding of love itself. You start connecting with individuals not based on obligation, but rather on a mutual desire to grow and support one another authentically. The challenge lies in truly embracing this shift within yourself. Often, there are lingering fears that can arise during this process. You might wonder, what will my family think? Will they understand my choice? Let me tell you something. Those fears are valid, but they do not have to dictate your journey. Creating your own family is an act of courage, an intentional choice to prioritize what elevates you. And in this pursuit, you will inevitably encounter obstacles that may try to pull you back into the old paradigms. But when you recognize these challenges for what they are, tests of your commitment to authenticity, you'll find strength in that realization. Consider the story of a woman named Maria, who, after years of feeling disconnected from her family, decided to embrace the life she truly wanted. Her upbringing was steeped in traditional values that emphasized loyalty to familial obligation. But as she awakened to her own identity, she felt a deep pull to explore friendships outside those confines. So, Maria took a leap of faith. She invested time in communities that sparked her creativity and nourished her soul. And while she faced opposition and questions from family members about her choices, she remained steadfast. One day, at a gathering with her usual family, she began to speak about her new friendships, those vibrant souls who shared her passions and uplifted her spirit. To her surprise, some family members began to see the shift within her. They could sense the warmth in her voice as she shared stories of laughter and love that weren't derived solely from bloodlines. They began to find respect for her choices, and while they might not fully understand her path, they started to accept that her happiness was a priority, one that wasn't necessary to come at the cost of disowning her roots. And this is the beautiful truth. True connection has a ripple effect. When you step into your light, you create pathways for others to awaken to theirs. You become a living example of authenticity, encouraging those around you to question their own lives, their own relationships. Perhaps your decision to redefine family will inspire someone else to do the same, creating a movement that reverberates through the fabric of traditional bonds. Let's not overlook the practical steps you can take to foster this sense of community and kinship. Start by being intentional in your connections. Set boundaries where needed, ensuring that relationships that drain you or feel obligatory are recalibrated toward balance. Reflect on who uplifts you versus those who weigh you down. Nurture the relationships that spark joy and stimulate your growth. As you assess your connections, prioritize the engagement with souls who align with your vision, your energy, and your passions. Seek out gatherings, communities, or groups that share your ideals and aspirations. This could be a book club that ignites your passion for literature, or an art group where your creativity freely flows. Surround yourself with individuals who appreciate your being and encourage exploration, not through demands, but through love. And remember, it's only natural for challenges to present themselves as you carve this new path. You may feel moments of isolation as you step outside the norm, but don't confuse solitude with loneliness. Instead, see it as sacred time for reflection and reconnection to your authentic self. This is where growth flourishes. Here's the paradox. The more you embrace authenticity, the more genuine connections come into your orbit. You begin to realize that family can manifest in forms beyond the conventional. You aren't just forming relationships, you're establishing a new paradigm of what family means. As we step closer to the end of this exploration, take a moment to appreciate the expansive potential of human connection. The power lies in your hands. You have the agency to create relationships that align with your awakened consciousness, that inspire and invigorate your spirit. Remember, the love and support you've been craving are there, waiting for you to cultivate them in the spaces you navigate. So let's embrace this transformative journey, knowing that as we redefine our understanding of family and community, we not only liberate ourselves, but also invite others along on this beautiful path of exploration. Keep your heart open, your mind curious, and your spirit attuned to those who genuinely resonate with your essence. The relationships you seek are not far away. They're just waiting for you to reach out and connect. So let's bring all of this full circle, shall we? Remember when we began this exploration, we started with the powerful awareness that traditional definitions of family can often box us in, constraining our ability to connect and grow authentically. The journey we've traversed together reveals that true connection lies not in obligations of blood or expectations, but in the alignment of spirit, values, and aspirations. As we synthesize this journey, you might be reflecting on what it means for you personally. What happens when you embrace this new paradigm? It empowers you to redefine your own narrative, a narrative not dictated by society's expectations, but one that resonates with your unique truth. You are allowed to choose who you hold close, who you call family, and it's liberating to realize that your heart will naturally gravitate toward those who inspire and uplift you. Now I want you to give yourself permission to create the family you desire. Release the guilt or fear that may have lingered in the back of your mind, telling you that there's something wrong with stepping outside conventional bounds. You have every right to engage with individuals who thrive on mutual respect, authenticity, and uncompromising love. The connections you cultivate now can become powerful sources of support as you navigate life's complexities. It's crucial to reframe any lingering sense of loss or discomfort you might feel as you redefine family. Joy often comes from letting go of what no longer serves you. Picture yourself shedding old expectations and the weight of familial obligations. This is where your liberation begins. Each step away from societal constructs brings you closer to a life filled with connections that align with your vibrancy and truth. Now, as we wrap up this conversation, let me leave you with a story that resonates beautifully with all that we've discussed. A dear friend of mine, who I'll call Alex, found himself at a crossroads in life. He had spent years drifting in a job that didn't bring him fulfillment, tied to family expectations that prompted him to pursue a lifestyle wholly incompatible with his true desires. One day, after a particularly poignant conversation with a friend, he decided it was time to pivot. Alex began to explore what lit him up inside. He attended workshops, joined creative groups, and stepped into experiences that had long called to him, but that he had shied away from for fear of judgment. The result? A profound transformation in both his self-perception and the relationships he nurtured. He began gathering a new family of sorts, a community of artists, dreamers, and passionate innovators who celebrated his authenticity rather than scrutinizing it. In this nurturing environment, he learned that connection could flourish when individuals came together in honor of their unique journeys. You see, this is the essence of what I hope you carry with you. The realization that while family ties may bind us, they do not define the tapestry of our connections. You are capable of weaving a rich and colorful life filled with individuals who resonate with your essence. Consider for a moment what your world might look like as you fully step into this new paradigm. Imagine sharing moments of laughter, joy, and inspiration with those who ignite your spirit. Visualize deep conversations that nourish your soul. Collaborations fueled by shared purpose and support that feels effortless yet profound. This is not a distant dream. It's entirely within your reach when you choose to embrace your truth. So, I invite you to cultivate this awareness. Recognize that each moment spent in authentic connection is an investment in your happiness and fulfillment. Allow yourself to shine brightly in spaces that welcome your unique light. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, and in turn, extend that same uplifting energy to others. This is your call to consciousness. Your journey does not end here. It's merely the beginning of embracing the beautiful nuances of love and connection as you've never experienced before. Live boldly, love freely, and cherish the remarkable individuals who come into your life. Take a deep breath and hold on to these insights as we part ways today. The power to redefine family and cultivate authentic connections lies within you. Carry this truth forward and let it guide you on your unique journey. You're not just inviting growth into your life, but you're also paving the way for others to awaken to their own capacity for authentic connection. This, dear friend, is where you truly thrive.